Welcome to this lecture on the motion of system of particles and rigid body. We will introduce the idea of moment of inertia by first going into the understanding of kinetic energy of rotation of a rigid body. Think of a rigid body in the form of a mass distribution. This is a mass distribution, and this mass distribution is undergoing rotation with respect to an axis. Now this axis, which we see as a line passing through the rigid body, is not compulsory that it should be a line passing through the rigid body. It can even lie outside the rigid body. Now think of further that this rigid body is made out of various mass points, and let those mass points be m1, m2, m3, m4 and so on. तो ये हमारे mass points हैं. I call this as m1, then I have m2, I have m3 and right up to mn. अगर इन mass points की distribution हम लें with respect to the axis of rotation, तो imagine कि यहाँ एक mass point है which is m1 at a distance from the axis of rotation, और इस distance को हम r1 कह देते हैं. Then we have another mass point here, call this as m2, और जो इसकी डिस्टेंस है उसको r2 कह देते हैं. सिमिलरली हमारे पास एक और मास पॉइंट है यहाँ विच आई कॉल एज m3, और इसकी डिस्टेंस विद रेस्पेक्ट टू द एक्सिस ऑफ रोटेशन इज r3. जब हम डिस्टेंस की बात करते हैं तो वी टेक द परपेंडिकुलर डिस्टेंस ऑफ ए पॉइंट अवे फ्रॉम द एक्सिस ऑफ रोटेशन. यू कैन गो ऑन लाइक दिस कि अगर यहाँ पर इसी तरह से एक पार्टिकल है विच आई कॉल एज m4 with a distance of r4 from the axis of rotation and so on. अब ये जो mass distribution है इसमें कई points ऐसे भी हैं इस rigid body के which lie on the axis itself. So जहां से points के through axis pass हो रहा है, they are those points whose distance from the axis of rotation is 0. अब इस rigid body को हमने rotation में डाल दिया and let this be the rotation. दैट वे अगर आप एक इमेजिन करते हैं कि यहाँ एक मास है हमारे पास, सो वी आर सेटिंग दिस मास इनटू रोटेशन विद रिस्पेक्ट टू दिस एक्सिस, और ये जो मास है इट इज मूविंग एंड दिस एक्सिस ऑफ रोटेशन इज एक्चुअली ए फिक्स्ड लाइन जो इसके थ्रू पास हो रही. और वी विल सून सी कि हम इस रोटेशन को देख सकते हैं कि अगर ये 3 डायमेंशन में एक ऑब्जेक्ट है, सो दिस एक्सिस विच इज से ये है एक्स एक्सिस, ये है वाई एक्सिस, ये है जेड एक्सिस, it becomes the axis of rotation and the rigid body is moving in this manner. जब ये घूमता है with respect to this fixed line, so the angle described per unit time, जिसको हम ऐसे लिख सकते हैं that we have theta divided by t, this theta divided by t which is the angular velocity that is denoted by omega. Now the motion which was set up, जो हमने motion set up की, some agency had to do a work to cause this motion, और जो kinetic energy इस object ने gain की because of the rotation, or this rotation is going on without any translational motion, इस kinetic energy को हम कहेंगे kinetic energy of rotation. So I can call the rotation or the kinetic energy acquired by this body because of rotation as kinetic energy of rotation, और we will agree to this कि जो ये kinetic energy of rotation है ये अलग अलग mass points में distributed है, क्योंकि अगर एक mass point की हम motion की बात करते हैं it has a kinetic energy which we call as 1/2 into mass into velocity square. So I can reach on to this kinetic energy of rotation as the sum of these kinetic energies. So this is for the particle 1 which is m1 v1 square. ये जो m1 है ये इसका मास है, और what is v1? v1 is defined like this कि अगर हम एक रोटेशन का टाइम पीरियड निकालें कि ये पार्टिकल एक रोटेशन के दौरान कितना घूमता है, सो यू विल अंडरस्टैंड कि अगर ये पार्टिकल यहाँ पर है, here is the particle, जब ये पूरा एक चक्कर लगाता है with respect to the axis, so it has covered a distance of 2 pi r, और ये जो इसका r है, if I call it as r1 for m1, then it has covered a distance of 2 pi r1. That distance divided by the time taken for one rotation becomes the value of v1. So we are defining V1 like this, that V1 is equal to 2 pi R1 divided by time taken for one rotation, which looks like distance covered divided by time taken. You can also see that there is V2 equal to 2 pi R1 divided by same value of t, क्योंकि एक टाइम पीरियड में ये भी अपना एक फुल रोटेशन या एक फुल सर्कल कवर करता है और ये भी अपना एक फुल सर्कल कवर करता है. द टाइम रिमेन सेम बट द linear distance covered by each particle is different, because in this case if it is 2 pi r1, in this case it is 2 pi r2, and similarly we have v3 equal to 2 pi r3 divided by t, and so on. Now each of these values which we write for v1, v2, v3 could be different, क्योंकि अगर टाइम सबके लिए सेम है, this time is same for all of them, the value of r1, r2 and r3 is not. We already know that there is a angular velocity which we express as 2 pi divided by t. तो अगर मैं 2 pi divided by t को ओमेगा कहता हूं, that way you will see कि इन सब में एक फैक्टर है 2 pi by t, 2 pi by t, 2 pi by t, which will be called omega. So this becomes omega r1. Similarly, this becomes omega r2. This becomes omega r3 and so on. मैं यहां पर अब एक चेंज कर सकता हूं कि when I calculate the kinetic energy of rotation, I calculate this sum which is given by 1 by 2 m1 v1 square plus 1 by 2 m2 v2 square plus 1 by 2 m3 v3 square, and this will go on up to 1 by 2 mn vn square. Replacing v1 with r1 omega, v2 with r2 omega, v3 with r3 omega, what we obtain is 1 by 2 into m1 into r1 omega whole square plus 1 by 2 m2 into r2 omega whole square, and dash dash up to we have 1 by 2 mn rn omega whole square. Now think of all these terms. You will see कि एक 1 by 2 हर एक टर्म में कॉमन है, एक ओमेगा स्क्वायर हर एक टर्म में कॉमन है, और यहां पर क्या होगा, दिस विल बी m1 r1 स्क्वायर ओमेगा स्क्वायर. तो ये m1 r1 स्क्वायर में यहां लिख रहा हूं m1 r1 स्क्वायर, देन आई हैव हियर m2 r2 स्क्वायर ओमेगा स्क्वायर प्लस m2 r2 स्क्वायर ओमेगा स्क्वायर. आई विल टेक कॉमन डैश डैश अप टू mn rn स्क्वायर, और here I have omega square. अब ये क्वांटिटी आप देखते हैं कि we have obtained the kinetic energy of rotation by breaking it into the kinetic energy of each particle, and since kinetic energy is a scalar quantity, we are adding it irrespective कि क्या एक particle कम velocity ज़्यादा velocity से चल रहा है, और we have found कि जो इसकी sum total of इस body के लिए जो sum total of kinetic energies of the individual particles है, that becomes the total kinetic energy of the whole system of particles. और this system of particles is later on, अगर हम इसको एक rigid body में transform करेंगे, that will be कि ये sum पर कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. Now what I feel कि अगर हम otherwise एक expression लेते हैं that whenever I write the kinetic energy of translation of a body, काइनेटिक एनर्जी ऑफ ट्रांसलेशन इज कि एक बॉल है आपके पास, आपने उसको सेट कर दिया मोशन में, और जो उस बॉल का सेंटर ऑफ मास है, दैट सेंटर ऑफ मास इज मूविंग अलोंग अ सर्टेन पाथ, दिस इज ट्रांसलेशनल मोशन. नाउ इन दिस केस मे बी कि जो सेंटर ऑफ मास सिस्टम का है वो एक जगह पर फिक्स्ड है, लेकिन सिस्टम की मोशन उस सेंटर ऑफ मास के आसपास है. सो देयर विल बी टू एस्पेक्ट्स लेटर. वन इज द मोशन ऑफ ए बॉडी along with the center of mass, that means the motion of its center of mass. The second aspect is motion about the center of mass. तो अभी जो हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, it is motion about the center of mass. और जब हम motion along with the center of mass या motion of center of mass की बात करते हैं, we will see that the motion is called as translational motion, and that translational motion becomes 1 by 2 into m. m is mass of the whole body multiplied by v square. अगर मैं एक कंपैरिजन करूं, I compare omega square with v square. Omega square gives you the square of angular velocity of the body, whereas v square gives you the square of linear velocity of the body. In fact, they are both quantities with different dimensions of different nature. लेकिन इन दो equations में they are playing the same role. Then I have a factor 1 by 2 here, I have a factor 1 by 2 here. Now what seems to be happening here in case of translational motion is कि जो इसका mass है वो mass इस quantity को replace करता है, और जो ये quantity हम लिख रहे हैं, this quantity becomes a quantity called as moment of inertia. तो जो ये quantity हम लिख रहे हैं, this quantity is moment of inertia, and this moment of inertia which is equal to m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square plus this will go on up to the nth term, so plus dash 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 mn rn square. और ये जो sum है, this sum which we can also express like this कि moment of inertia को मैं symbol I दे देता हूं, this I call as summation of I equal to 1 to n mi r I square. This quantity is what we call as the sum or product of square of distance, this is a distance from the axis of rotation, the sum or product of square of distance from axis of rotation of each particle of the rigid body. और ये जो quantity है, this quantity even though has a function which is same as that of the function played by mass in translational motion, so it is in a way analogous to, so this is analogy or analogous to the mass of the body in translational motion. However, जो इसका स्ट्रक्चर है, आप देखेंगे कि इसका स्ट्रक्चर है मास इनटू डिस्टेंस स्क्वायर. जब आप इस मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया का डायमेंशनल फार्मूला देखेंगे, इसका डायमेंशनल फार्मूला किसी भी तरह मास के जैसा नहीं है. इट इज m1 l2 t0. इन अदर वर्ड्स इट इज मास मल्टीप्लाइड बाय डिस्टेंस स्क्वायर. और इस डायमेंशनल फार्मूला को देख के अगर आप मास का डायमेंशनल फार्मूला लेते हैं विच इज m1 l0 t0, इट इज altogether different. However, the quantities play the same role in their own cases. One is the case of translational motion, other is the case of the rotational motion. Now when I say that they play the same role, what is role of mass in case of translational motion? The role of mass in case of translational motion is that mass decides the inertia of the body. What is inertia? Inertia is that it is the tendency of the body to stay in the state of rest or in the state of uniform motion. When you see that there is a very big mass set into motion, उस mass को जितना मुश्किल था motion में डालना, because you were trying to change its state of rest to the state of motion, उसको state of motion से state of rest में लाना भी इतना ही मुश्किल है. This is the property of inertia. So inertia is the tendency of a body to stay in the state of rest or in the state of uniform motion in a straight line. I go with the analogous definition for moment of inertia, जिसको हम physical interpretation of moment of inertia भी कह सकते हैं. I can say that moment of inertia of a rigid body is the property by virtue of which it will have a tendency to stay in the state of rest or in the state of uniform rotation in case of the rotational motion. So जो अब यूनिफॉर्म रोटेशन है वो यूनिफॉर्म मोशन को रिप्लेस करेगा. यूनिफॉर्म मोशन वो है जहां लीनियर वेलोसिटी कांस्टेंट है, और यूनिफॉर्म रोटेशन वो है जहां ओमेगा की वैल्यू कांस्टेंट है. दैट मीन्स बॉडी घूम तो रही है, बट एवरी टाइम इट टेक्स टाइम फॉर वन रोटेशन, दैट टाइम टेकन फॉर वन रोटेशन is a constant. So that way the angular velocity remaining constant is that body will cover equal angles or equal angular displacements in equal intervals of time. Whereas in translational motion, it will cover equal distances in equal intervals of time. Now, this property of moment of inertia has a very important significance in the rotational dynamics. That means when we set a body into rotation, इसका जो moment of inertia है, जो एक important characteristic है एक given mass distribution का, that becomes very, very relevant quantity. Now we go further into some of the properties, और उन properties में हम देखेंगे कि जो ये definition moment of inertia की है, which is true actually for a system of particles where we see कि particles are discrete. Discrete would mean कि we started with this कि they are separate particles. They are separate particles. We may come to find out कि what should be moment of inertia of a rigid body, जहां पर हम एक separate particles का set तो नहीं देखते हैं, but we see a set of particles which are so close to each other, वो एक दूसरे के इतने close हैं that they are not distinguishable from each other. We have done this earlier also कि how we shift from the system of discrete particles to the system of the continuous particle or mass distribution. तो यहाँ भी हम ऐसा ही कहेंगे कि what I'll see is कि instead of taking a mass particle m1, m2 and so on, I will take a very small piece of mass or a chunk of mass which I will call as dm. और फिर हम जो ये summation है, इस summation को integration से replace करेंगे for continuous distribution, so that you will have this expression for moment of inertia. That moment of inertia will become integration of r square dm. ये आप समझते हैं कि I have replaced the value of mi, which is mass of a single particle, multiplied by distance square. So this is distance square multiplied to the mass of single particle, and I have taken the mass of single particle to be dm. Next is now कि अगर इस distribution में एक ही single particle हो, so we will see कि for a single particle जिसकी distance axis से r है, so there is a single particle like this. This is the axis of rotation, और ये एक particle है of mass m, and the distance from axis of rotation, this is axis of rotation, is r. So what will be its moment of inertia? I'll say moment of inertia of a single particle is equal to m into r square. So it is mass into distance square. तो हमने यही definition ली, but in this definition we have given the value of 1 to I, and that is the only term in this whole expression. So we get the value for moment of inertia of a single particle as mr square. Mr square is mass into distance square. Now furthermore, अगर आप देखें कि if we change the axis of rotation, ये जो axis of rotation है, अगर हमने इसको change करके इस axis of rotation को इसी rigid body के through ऐसे पास किया, या इसको ऐसे पास किया, या इसको ऐसे पास किया, that means the distribution of mass with respect to the given axis of rotation has changed. The values of r1, r2, r3 have changed. So what we expect is that the moment we change axis of rotation, the moment of inertia changes. So we can see कि जो moment of inertia होता है एक rigid body का, of a rigid body is dependent on the choice of axis, is dependent on the choice of axis of rotation, axis of rotation. Now this becomes a very significant difference between the mass and the moment of inertia. The moment I think of mass of this rigid body, अगर मैं इसके mass की बात करूं, this mass will not change चाहे मैं इसको ऐसे घुमाऊं या ऐसे घुमाऊं. But if we think of the moment of inertia by passing an axis in this manner, then I pass an axis in this manner, then I pass an axis in this manner, you will see कि अब जो इसका moment of inertia है वो same नहीं रहेगा. So that way moment of inertia, unlike mass, is not a quantity which will be a unique quantity for a given rigid body. It is such a quantity which will depend on the choice of axis of rotation, and it will be different for a given rigid body for the different axes of rotation. तो चाहे आप एक सिंगल रिजिड बॉडी लें, लेकिन पहले आपने एक्स एक्सिस को, फिर आपने वाई एक्सिस को, फिर आपने जेड एक्सिस को, उसका एक्सिस ऑफ रोटेशन बनाया, the moment of inertia is not going to remain same, it is going to be different. After some time, we will be introducing two very important properties in the form of two theorems. One is called as theorem of parallel axis and one is called as the theorem of perpendicular axis. तो उसके through हम देखेंगे कि what kind of relation we could build between the different moment of inertia of a rigid body. अब ये जो properties हैं, इन properties को हम आगे लेके चलते हैं and we go to define something what is very important for the treatment of the rigid body rotation. उसको हम radius of gyration कहते हैं. So let's take it further from here. So now what we saw is कि अगर हम kinetic energy of rotation को express करते हैं as 1/2, यहाँ हमने जो लिखा था summation of mi ri square, I taking the values from 1 to n, so ये बन जाएगा I और here we have omega square. तो ये जो expression है for the kinetic energy of rotation is something which is to be comparable कि अगर हम kinetic energy of translation की बात करें which is 1/2 into m into v square, so there is a striking relation which we see कि 1/2 यहाँ 1/2 यहाँ है, यहाँ ओमेगा स्क्वायर है, यहाँ v स्क्वायर है, यहाँ I है और यहाँ m है. So I is what? I is equal to m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square plus dash dash up to mn rn square. For simplicity of the mathematical procedure, let's imagine कि हमने एक सिस्टम ऑफ पार्टिकल्स को ऐसे पार्टिकल्स या ऐसे पीसेस में डिवाइड किया है where each of the particle has the mass m. So what will happen in this expression, you will see कि जो m है, this m will be m r1 square plus m r2 square plus m r3 square and right up to m rn square. अगर मैं इस m को कॉमन ले लेता हूं, I get m into r1 square plus r2 square plus r3 square dash dash up to rn square. और ये एक्सप्रेशन जो है, इस एक्सप्रेशन में I will multiply with n. n is number of particles of which the system is made out. So I multiply by n and I divide by n. That way हम multiply भी कर रहे हैं n से और divide भी कर रहे हैं, does not make a difference. अब आप इस n को देखें, I have m, that is the mass of each particle of the rigid body. n is the total number of particles which constitute the rigid body. So you'll agree with me that mass of one particle multiplied by the number of particles becomes capital M. What is capital M? It is the mass of the whole rigid body. And this mass of the whole rigid body multiplied to R1 square plus R2 square dash dash up to Rn square, or we have this ratio or this divided by n. So this is the n. ये आप देख रहे हैं कि what I am actually taking, I am taking the mean of squares of distances. So this is the square of a distance, this is square of a distance. Well, similarly, square of a distance, we add all these distance squares and then we divide by the number of terms contained in this sum. That gives us the mean square, or it gives us the mean of square distances. तो जो इसका आउटकम होगा या जो ये क्वांटिटी है, इस क्वांटिटी को अगर हम सिंगल सिंबल से डिनोट करते हैं, वो सिंगल सिंबल भी डिस्टेंस स्क्वायर ही होगा. एंड आई इंट्रोड्यूस a symbol for this ratio or for this this mean that I call as k square. So I put k square, capital K square equal to r1 square plus r2 square plus r3 square dash dash up to rn square divided by n. And this becomes now I is equal to moment of inertia of the body whose mass is capital M, and this whole ratio I have put equal to k square. So I have put equal to k square becomes equal to m multiplied by k square. ये जो expression है, this expression where we say that moment of inertia of the rigid body is equal to mass of the rigid body multiplied by k square, और इसमें जो k स्क्वायर है ये डिस्टेंस स्क्वायर का डायमेंशन रखेगा और खाली k जो है ये k एक डिस्टेंस है. And this k is what we call as the radius of gyration of the rigid body. So we have k given, or the name given to k is, so k is radius of gyration. अब ये जो radius of gyration है, this has a physical significance like this, कि अगर हम mathematically इसको एक distance मानते हैं और जिस axis of rotation के respect में हमने distances ली थी R1, R2, R3, तो वो axis of rotation तो अपनी ही जगह है. It's a fixed axis of rotation. This is the axis of rotation. Axis of rotation. मगर इस axis of rotation के respect में take a distance k. So I take a distance k. Here is the distance k. Now think of a particle here. This particle is such that its mass is equal to capital M. Capital M is the mass of the whole rigid body. And think of that if I write the moment of inertia for a single particle, I have already seen that when I write the moment of inertia for a single particle, it is mass of the particle multiplied to distance square. In this case, if I call this distance as k, this distance as k, and I write it as mass of the whole rigid body multiplied to distance square, so what I will obtain is, I will obtain the moment of inertia of the whole rigid body. और हमारी जो इंटरप्रिटेशन है k की वो वही है कि we can think of radius of gyration of a rigid body as an imaginary distance at which the whole mass of the rigid body, capital M, lies with respect to the given axis of rotation, and that capital M is set into the rotation. Or later you will see how significant this k becomes. और अभी के लिए आप देख रहे हैं कि you have sometimes a definition for moment of inertia. अगर हम इस equation से लिखें, I could write that I have a rigid body whose moment of inertia is I, and I can express I as. So I can write I is equal to twice, this is twice kinetic energy of rotation divided by omega square. If I think that I have a rigid body whose angular velocity is 1 radian per second, so omega is equal to 1 radian per second, what I will obtain is, I will obtain I is equal to twice of kinetic energy of rotation. Now this way what I feel is कि जो moment of inertia एक rigid body का है वो एक ऐसी quantity है या वो physical quantity है which is twice the value of its kinetic energy of rotation, provided the value of its angular velocity is 1 radian per second. So I repeat that if we have a rigid body which is rotating with an angular speed of 1 radian per second, then its moment of inertia is the magnitude of twice of the kinetic energy of rotation. तो जो इसकी kinetic energy of rotation है which will be measured in joule, जो moment of inertia है वो उसका twice हो जाएगा. So this way we have a definition for the moment of inertia which is other than कि जो moment of inertia है, it is the sum of products of the masses of various particles multiplied to the square distances of those particles from the axis of rotation. और radius of gyration के बारे में you can again understand कि sometimes we try to think about this radius of gyration as a distance which may lie in the rigid body somewhere. तो इसको आप एक mathematical concept लेके इसको आप imagine करें कि obviously it is going to be some distance, and that some distance will be some value of one of, जैसे हम r's की value लेते आए r1, r2, r3, so it would be the value of one of such r's I mean the distances of various particles which this body would acquire, और जो इसका mathematical form है that it is the square root of the sum of squares divided by the number of the squared quantities, which we can call as the square root of the mean स्क्वायर डिस्टेंस. इन अदर वर्ड्स, जो हम डिस्टेंस को पहले स्क्वायर करते हैं फिर n से डिवाइड करते हैं, सो इट बिकम्स मीन ऑफ स्क्वायर्ड डिस्टेंसेस. So this was about the radius of gyration. Now we take up some more detail of the interpretation. जो आपने अभी देखा कि जो मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया है, ये मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया वही रोल प्ले करता है रोटेशनल मोशन में जो मास प्ले करता है. तो यू विल एग्री टू इट कि जो मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया है, इट विल आल्सो डिपेंड ऑन द साइज एंड शेप ऑफ द रिजिड बॉडी. तो हम अलग अलग साइज और शेप्स के मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया डिटरमाइन करेंगे. फॉर दैट वी विल हैव टू गो टू द शेप्स लाइक a thin rod, a plane, a slab, a cylinder, a sphere, a disc, and so on. Now all these shapes which we take up, they have the moment of inertia जो हम निकाल सकते हैं by using two very important tools, that is the tool of theorem of parallel axis and theorem of perpendicular axis. But prior to that, I come to a comparison of the moment of inertia with the I come to a comparison between the translational motion and the rotational motion. तो इस टेबल को आप देखें. Here we take the quantities on one side. These are the quantities of linear motion. So this is a linear motion, and these are the analogous quantities of rotational motion which we can कंपेयर. सबसे पहले जो लीनियर मोशन में हम एक डिस्प्लेसमेंट की बात करते हैं, सो हियर वी टॉक ऑफ डिस्प्लेसमेंट डिनोटेड बाय एक्स. यहां पर हम बात करते हैं एंगुलर डिस्प्लेसमेंट की. सो एंगुलर डिस्प्लेसमेंट दैट इज डिनोटेड बाय थीटा. यहां हम बात करते हैं वेलोसिटी की. सो दैट वेलोसिटी इज इक्वल टू एक्स बाय टी. दैट मीन्स डिस्प्लेसमेंट पर यूनिट टाइम which we denote by v. So this is v. यहाँ हम बात करते हैं एंगुलर डिस्प्लेसमेंट की. So this is एंगुलर वेलोसिटी की. एंगुलर वेलोसिटी that is theta divided by t which we denote as omega. यहाँ हम बात करते हैं मास की. mass of the rigid body which we denote by m. But here we talk about the moment of inertia. Moment of inertia which we denote by I denoted by capital I. Here we talk of the linear momentum which we denote by P. P equal to m is mass multiplied by v, that is velocity. Here we talk about angular momentum. So what is angular momentum? As we have the angular momentum would be product of, जैसे ये mass into velocity है, so this is capital L जिसे हम इसको डिनोट करते हैं. मास को I से रिप्लेस करें, मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया वेलोसिटी को ओमेगा से रिप्लेस करें, so it becomes equal to I into omega. Then when we talk about the force here, force is equal to, so इसको हम कैपिटल F से डिनोट कर देते हैं, and I write it as derivative of linear momentum with respect to time. यहाँ हम बात करते हैं जो उसका एनालॉग है, that is torque which we denote as tau, and it is equal to d over dt of linear momentum will be replaced by angular momentum. If I have to further talk about work here in this case, so देखें work जो होगा, that work would be equal to the force multiplied by a distance. Distance को मैं dx लिख देता हूँ. Here we have the work which will be obviously equal to, so this work will be equal to, यहां देखें F को रिप्लेस करेगा टॉर्क, और जो dx है इसको रिप्लेस करेगा d theta, because theta is the quantity which is analogous to displacement. Then similarly अगर मैं यहां impulse की बात करूं, impulse you agree is the product of force and time. So time को मैं denote करता हूं dt से. In this case the force is to be taken as the value of tau, so I call it as angular impulse, and angular impulse would be equal to the product of force को आप रिप्लेस करते हैं टॉर्क से, और टाइम will remain as dt. यहाँ हम बात करते हैं कभी एक क्वांटिटी पावर की. So I have power equal to force multiplied by velocity. So it is force multiplied by velocity. In fact, it's a dot product of force and velocity. Here also I have power which will be the product of, तो देखिए यहाँ पर जो force है that would be equal to the torque multiplied to V. V is omega. V is to be replaced by omega. So it will be equal to the torque multiplied by angular velocity omega. अगर हम यहाँ पर काइनेटिक एनर्जी ऑफ ट्रांसलेशन की बात करें, so we have kinetic energy of translation equal to 1 by 2 mv square. Here we have the kinetic energy of rotation equal to 1 by 2 I omega square. And we have then कि अगर हम equations की बात करते हैं, we take some equations in analogy from one type of motion, that is linear motion, to other type of motion. तो उन equations को भी in an analogy हम एक दूसरे के साथ comparison में लिख सकते हैं. I take some of such equations जहाँ पर हम इस linear motion और rotational motion को आपस में compare करेंगे. One equation which we usually express as Newton's second law in this case. So Newton's second law, we say that F is equal to mass of a body multiplied by acceleration. अब देखिए जो acceleration की बात है, that acceleration here if I call it as the linear acceleration and denote it by A, then in this case I will see that it becomes angular acceleration and I denote it by alpha. Now what becomes of this equation when I say F is equal to m into A? Here I can write torque which will replace F is equal to mass will be replaced by moment of inertia I, and linear acceleration will be replaced by the angular acceleration alpha. And then furthermore if we go to a kind of motion जो linear motion है या translation motion है, here we have an important kind of motion जिसको हम uniformly accelerated motion कहते हैं. So we have the uniformly accelerated motion, or this uniformly accelerated motion, in this case what it will become a rotation with constant alpha. So what is a uniformly accelerated motion? It is a linear motion with constant acceleration. So I have written rotation with constant alpha, which we will also call as the uniformly accelerated rotation. अब यहाँ हमारे पास तीन रिलेशंस हैं. One is V is equal to U plus AT. Other is V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. The other is S is equal to UT plus half of AT square. इस इक्वेशन से हम फोर्थ इक्वेशन भी कई बार डिड्यूस करते हैं, that is S nth, the distance covered by a body during nth second of its motion, and the according change will be कि यहाँ अगर हम मानते हैं that omega is the final angular velocity, this omega would be equal to omega 0, which is initial angular velocity, plus acceleration, which is linear acceleration, will become angular acceleration multiplied to t. Now we have omega square, v square को omega square में लिख रहा हूँ, minus omega 0 is the initial angular velocity is equal to 2 into alpha. Alpha will replace acceleration multiplied by displacement, which will be angular displacement in this case. Similarly, we have a value of S. S becomes now a value of theta. This is angular displacement at a given time would be equal to theta will be equal to omega naught, that is the initial velocity which will be here, initial angular velocity into t, plus 1 by 2 into linear acceleration will be the angular acceleration multiplied by t square. So before you apply these equations, please ensure कि जो type of rotation है उस rotation में ये characteristics होना चाहिए that it is a quantity which is to be expressed as a constant. So that way जब तक ये constant नहीं है, you cannot apply this set of equations. In the same way कि जब हम एक motion देखते हैं whose acceleration is constant, then only we apply these equations. So by this analogy what we see is we have a very easy access to the concepts of rotational dynamics if we have mastered the concepts of linear motion. तो उस लिहाज से जो लीनियर मोशन की नॉलेज है उसको याद रखे और जहां जहां कहीं इसमें कुछ एक्सेप्शनल चेंजेस है उनको याद रख के यू मस्ट अराइव ऑन टू द इक्वेशंस ऑफ रोटेशनल मोशन. नाउ द लास्ट थिंग इन दिस लेक्चर वुड बी कि जब हम एक क्वांटिटी मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया की बात कर रहे थे अभी, दिस मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया एज सच, अगर हमारे पास एक ऑब्जेक्ट मूव कर रहा है, सो इमेजिन कि दिस इज द रिजिड बॉडी और ये रिजिड बॉडी एक एक्सिस ऑफ रोटेशन पर घूम रही है. हियर इज द एक्सिस ऑफ रोटेशन और इसका जो एक्सिस के रिस्पेक्ट में एंगुलर वेलोसिटी है वो है ओमेगा. वी हैव अर्लियर सीन कि जब हम एंगुलर मोमेंटम की बात करते हैं इस रिजिड बॉडी के, दैट एंगुलर मोमेंटम लाइक वी कैन सी दैट P is equal to m into v. I can write angular momentum L as I into omega. If you see कि जो ये एंगुलर मोमेंटम है, this angular momentum and this omega are axial vectors. They lie along the axis. अगर ये ऐसा हुआ कि motion is such that जो उसका एंगुलर मोमेंटम है, that angular momentum is parallel to the angular velocity. That means जिस एक्सिस पर एंगुलर वेलोसिटी लाई करती है उसी एक्सिस पर एंगुलर मोमेंटम भी लाई करता है. We call such an axis as the principal axis of this rigid body. अब देखिए, if they are not parallel to each other, then that axis is not the principal axis. Try to distinguish between the motion of an object which is moving in such a manner that axis remains fixed with respect to you, and then think of a rotation which is taking place so that this axis goes on changing with respect to time. आपने एक spinning top को देखा है that the axis goes on changing with respect to time. When the axis goes on changing with respect to time, we say it is not a principal axis. In that case, जो L और ओमेगा है, they will not be parallel to each other. अब यहाँ जब ऐसी सिचुएशन है, you will agree कि जो ये है, this becomes a simple scalar quantity. So it's a scalar quantity. That way, we can say that for a motion where L and omega are parallel on the same axis, the moment of inertia is a scalar quantity. But when it comes to a motion where the axis of rotation changes with respect to time, in that case, this moment of inertia takes the form of a matrix. So there are elements in this matrix, and that matrix which we have built up for a given body is called as the moment of inertia tensor. So in the ordinary motions, जहाँ पर ordinary rotations आप देखते हैं, you could think of moment of inertia as a scalar. But when it comes to motions where the axis of rotation is not fixed but changes with respect to time, it is no longer a scalar. It takes the form of a matrix called as moment of inertia tensor. So this is all in this lecture, and we have had the comparison of linear and rotational motion. Then we talked about moment of inertia. We talked about the analogy between mass and moment of inertia. Also, the differences between mass and moment of inertia. Thank you very much.